Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila. Madhya Lila, Chapter 1, the later pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are reading about Mahaprabhu's meeting with Rupa and Sanatan Goswami at Ramakeli. So yesterday we read that after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu blessed Rup Sanatan Goswamis, assuring them that very soon they would be delivered by Lord Krishna, and asking them, also saying that it was good. The Lord had come to Ramakeli. In fact, he had come to Bengal only for the purpose of seeing Rup and Sanatan Goswamis. And everybody asked Mahaprabhu why he came to Ramakeli, which was out of his way from going to Mathura. Nobody knows why I came here, but the fact is I came here to see the both of you, and you have come to see me on your own. So this is very good, right? In other words, now my visit to Ramkeli is, my mission is accomplished. I have come here to see you, and you yourself have come. So it's very good. Now you go back to your house, your homes, and also Mahaprabhu said how he had sent that message about a woman who does her duties very nicely at home, but she's always meditating on the time that she would be spending with her paramour in secret. So like that, they should continue. Go back, continue your duties under the Nawab, but in your heart, always be meditating on Lord Krishna. And on serving Lord Krishna and assisting him in his mission. After saying this, Mahaprabhu put his hands on the heads of Dabir Khas Sakar Malik, whom he had now named as, he said, from today onwards your name is going to be Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Sanatan Goswami. And then he put his hands on them, blessed them, that very soon you're going to be delivered by Lord Krishna. Now you go home, very soon you're going to be delivered. And then immediately Rup Sanatan Goswamis fell down on the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. They kept the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu on their heads. And then Mahaprabhu asked all the assembled Vaishnavas to please show their mercy to these two brothers. And then we read how in the purport Srila Prabhupada said that Chhadiya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Peyache Keba. This is Srila Narottam Das Thakur's song. One who has given up the service to a Vaishnava, anyone who has given up the service to a Vaishnava, has he ever been delivered? That means no. Unless one is served by a Vaishnava, unless one serves a Vaishnava, he can never be. There hasn't been any case in history that without serving a Vaishnava, someone has been delivered from the three modes of material nature, or what to speak of someone who has gotten love of Godhead. Without serving, it's not possible. That's why Mahaprabhu is asking everyone, please cast your blessings on Vaishnavas. Another important point that we read there is when the Vaishnavas, when Mahaprabhu said this, and when they saw Rup Sanatan Goswami is receiving the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how jubilant all the Vaishnavas were. In great ecstasy, great joy. They were saying, Hari, Hari, Hari. So this also shows the nature of Vaishnavas. One who is truly a Vaishnava is never envious of another Vaishnava's success. When one Vaishnava is empowered by the Supreme Lord to preach his message, to spread his holy names all over the world, anyone who is genuinely a Vaishnava would actually feel great joy in his heart, seeing the mercy that this Vaishnava is receiving from the Supreme Lord. There's no question of feeling envy or jealousy, because envy and jealousy are material qualities. They are qualities which are coming from the modes of material nature. So, if one is a Vaishnava, he cannot have envy towards another Vaishnava who's spreading Krishna's glories all over the world. So, Srila Prabhupada even says there's no need to respect such people, right? So, the point is no need to serve, not respect, no need to serve such people. Because here it is said that without getting the mercy of Vaishnavas, one cannot get delivered, one cannot make progress in spiritual life without getting the mercy of Vaishnavas. Then what type of Vaishnavas are we talking about? Chadiya Vaishnava Seva, Nistara Peche Keba. So what type of Vaishnavas is Srila Narottam Das Thakur talking about here? That Vaishnava who is actually genuinely a Vaishnava, who is not a Vaishnava who is not, what do you say, a Vaishnava who is not affected, who is not experiencing envy for others, for other Vaishnavas, who has no envy or jealousy in his heart. By serving such a Vaishnava, then you'll make progress in bhakti. Then, so this is the Vaishnava we are talking about. Srila Prabhupada makes it clear. He also said that in our society, in the Krishna consciousness movement, we will see many people, wearing the Vaishnav dress, appearing as Vaishnavas, but actually they maintain envy in their heart towards other Vaishnavas who are sincerely trying to spread the Lord's holy name all over the world. So there is no benefit in serving such Vaishnavas who harbor envy in their heart. There's no benefit. There is no benefit. You don't make spiritual progress by serving such envious people. Envious people, it appears like they're Vaishnavas, but actually they're not Vaishnavas. But a real Vaishnava, if you serve a real Vaishnava, then you'll make spiritual progress. And unless you serve a real Vaishnava, you cannot make any spiritual progress. That's the point. That's why Mahaprabhu is asking all the Vaishnavas to please shower their blessings on these two brothers, Rup Sanatan Goswami. Yes. And when all the devotees saw the mercy of the Lord upon the two brothers, They were very much gladdened and they began to chant the holy name of the Lord, Hari Hari. Now the next verse. Nityananda Haridasa Srivasa Gadadhar Mukunda Jagadananda Murari Vakreshwar. All the Vaishnava associates of the Lord were present. Who all were present at that time when Rup Sanatan Goswamis went to meet with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Who else was there at that time? All the Vaishnava associates of the Lord were present, including Nityananda Prabhu, Haridas Thakur, Srivas Thakur, Gadadhar Pandit, the Panchatattva, except for Advaita Acharya. Nityananda Prabhu was there, Srivas Thakur was there, Gadadhar Pandit was there, and also Haridas Thakur, Mukunda, Jagadananda, Murari, and Vakreshwar. These were the Vaishnavas that were present. And Mahaprabhu is asking these Vaishnavas to show their mercy to Rup Sanatan Goswami. Sabara charane dhari pade dui bhai, sabe bole dhanya tumi paile gosai. In accordance with the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the two brothers, Rup and Sanatan, immediately touched the lotus feet of these Vaishnavas, who all became very happy and congratulated the two brothers for having received the mercy of the Lord. See, when Mahaprabhu told them to give mercy, and when Mahaprabhu embraced them, Mahaprabhu blessed them, just simply seeing that, the devotees were joyful in heart. This shows that they had no envy. And when that's one principle that was already discussed. The other thing is, now these two devotees, Rup Sanatan Goswamis, they went and fell on the lotus feet of all these Vaishnavas upon Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction. So when they fell, naturally, see, when somebody humbles himself in front of a superior, even within this material world, even in material dealings, of course, in the mode of goodness, right? Because when you're in the mode of passion, that's a different thing. But anyway, generally, when you bow down in front of a superior, when you humble yourself in front of a superior, naturally the superior's heart becomes soft. They become inclined to bless you. This is the whole purpose of why the children, students, or those who are subordinates. It is etiquette in the Vedic culture. It is etiquette to go and bow down before superiors, your parents, your teachers, elders, right? Why? Because when you humble yourself in front of superiors, their mercy flows. Their mercy flows towards you. And what to speak of Vaishnavas? Vaishnavas are naturally always, they never hold any grudge against anyone. And what to speak of when someone genuinely, humbly submits himself in front of a Vaishnava, you get all the blessings of the Vaishnava. And when you get the blessings of the Vaishnava, you get blessings of Krishna. Because Krishna is captured in the hearts of these devotees, these Vaishnavas. So when the Vaishnavas become favorably inclined towards a conditioned soul, that person's life is perfected. Because if the Vaishnava, that's why the background is given. Srila Prabhupada gives the background of who is a Vaishnava, right? One who does not harbor envy in his heart, such a Vaishnava. When you get the blessings of such a Vaishnava, then the Lord's mercy will flow, because Krishna is captured in their heart. How he is captured? He is captured by their love. Their pure love is like a rope that binds the 2 feet of Krishna and makes him just sit down there. He cannot move. If your hands and feet are bound, his feet, specifically it is said, his lotus feet are tied up. By what? By the rope of their pure love. Krishna becomes completely bound. He becomes helpless. He cannot move from there. He'll just either sit or stand there. Whatever the devotee wants him to do, he'll just do. is completely under the control of the devotee. So when this devotee has compassion for someone, what will happen? Krishna will also follow. Krishna's mercy will follow the Vaishnava's mercy. So that's what happened when Rup Sanatana. So that is why it is very, very important that we don't become arrogant. Even if our mind says, why our mind says, negative things about Vaishnavas? Because of our conditioning. See, in conditioned state, there are four defects. There are four defects. So, imperfect senses, right? So, imperfect means what? And also illusion, taking one thing for another. Mistakes, right? Misunderstanding someone, that is mistakes. And being illusion, reality is something, you think something else is reality. And of course, cheating tendency is there, and our senses are imperfect. So, with these defects, how can we judge? How can we judge? So, therefore, even if our mind says some things, you should follow what the intelligence, and intelligence also not intelligence based on your experience or your intellect, no, intelligence which is coming from sadhu, guru, and shastra. Using that intelligence, you should judge. So, if you humble yourself in front of Vaishnavas, especially such pure devotees, if you humble yourself and if they become favorably inclined towards you, your work is done. Your work is done. They may or may not have, the powers to give you, to make you, whatever. But because they have conquered Krishna's heart, when you please them, it is Krishna who is going to bless you. And Krishna is supremely powerful. Their glory is they have Krishna in their hands. They have Krishna in their hearts. How? By dint of their love. So when they become favorably inclined, then we get the mercy of Krishna, no doubt about that. But our mind, material mind, will make all types of, conclusions, which deprives us of receiving this mercy. So see here, Rup Sanatan Goswamis, when they fell at the lotus feet of all these exalted Vaishnavas, what type of Vaishnavas? Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar Pandit is Srimati Radharani, Nityananda Prabhu is Lord Balaram, Srivas Thakur, Narad Muni, Mukunda, Vakreshwar Pandit. We were reading last weekend about Vakreshwar Pandit in Caitanya Bhagavat. Vakreshwar Pandit, simply by serving Vakreshwar Pandit, Devanand Pandit became eligible to receive the mercy of Mahaprabhu. He was attracted, Devananda Pandit was attracted to Vakreshwar Pandit. At every moment on his body was always very effulgent and there were all these ecstatic symptoms on his person. So this is the caliber, this is the type of devotees that were around Mahaprabhu. And Rup Sanatan Goswamis fell on their lotus feet. And how did they respond? Naturally, Vaishnavas are very, very compassionate. And somebody falls on their lotus feet. And that person who is actually personally blessed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they became very, very happy. They became very happy. Wholeheartedly, they gave all their best wishes, their mercy to these two devotees. And they said, they congratulated, congratulations, you are chosen by Mahaprabhu, you are blessed, you got all the mercy, you got embraced by Mahaprabhu. And they were very, very happy that they received this mercy from Mahaprabhu. They congratulated. So both things, how a subordinate devotee should act in great humility, and how a senior devotee should reciprocate without any envy When he sees that another devotee gets the mercy of the Lord, how he should reciprocate. We are seeing both these principles in this dealing. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. This behavior is indicative of real Vaishnavas. When they saw that Rupa and Sanatan were fortunate enough to receive the mercy of the Lord, they were so pleased that they all congratulated the two brothers. A jealous person in the dress of a Vaishnava is not at all happy to see the success of another Vaishnava in receiving the Lord's mercy. You know, one thing leads to another. You cannot stop it there. If you maintain, it's like, waterfall, Niagara waterfalls. You know how they start at the beginning, at the very beginning, they just start off like a small trickle of water. Even a small child can stop that water by putting his finger. He can stop. But if you let it fall like that, it keeps growing and growing and growing, and eventually it falls from such heights and comes with such force, nobody can control it. It becomes like the Niagara Falls. So, this jealousy and envy, it starts off small in our mind because of some misunderstanding, or because of uh, uh, some illusion or some cheating tendency. Because of our material conditioning, it starts off having some jealousy. And what is that jealousy? Why this person doesn't deserve to receive the mercy of the Lord? Why this person is becoming so famous and popular? I should become famous. Everyone should know about me. I am the best, right? Even though I may know that I'm not the best, actually you see that the other person is better, but the nature of the conditioned mind is it cannot tolerate another person progressing. This is material mentality. In the material world, you see this, isn't it? Always there's competition. Somebody is progressing, then you cannot tolerate. I should be number one, not he, right? And then it doesn't stop with that. Remember that waterfall starts off with a trickle and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Like that, initially, it's just some envy in the heart. You cannot tolerate it. And then it starts getting bigger, where you actually take actions to pull that person down. You start bad mouthing about that person to others, trying to spoil the name of that person, and not giving him or her an opportunity to progress, right? This is the story of all great Vaishnavas. They are attacked, they are blasphemed, even attempts are made to murder them. Why? Out of envy. And most of the time, you will see this is done by other, apparently, Vaishnavas. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the other, Babajis in Vrindavan. Babajis means so called, obviously. If you are envious and if you are trying to kill another Vaishnava who's spreading the name of the Lord, who's successful, how can you call? And they hired some people to murder, and they tried to bribe the policeman so that we will murder this sadhu, but nobody should say anything. And these are supposedly devotees. So it starts off very small. You just feel that envy. I should be there. Everyone should know me. Everyone should recognize me. And I should get the benefits. When so many people come, whatever profits that are coming, donations that are coming, I should get them, not this person. Everyone should know me. I am the most, this is material mentality. But it creeps even into devotional circles. When we are not sincerely practicing devotional service, then we become captured. So what should be done? Don't be surprised when you get such thoughts in your mind. It will only tell us that I am not a pure devotee. I have this, but from Shastric uh, evidence, we should not act on them. Rather, you just ignore. Like you have a mischievous child is doing mischief, right? The more you try to stop and don't do, the more he'll do more mischief. But if you just ignore that person, don't give any attention to that child doing all types of mischief, he'll get bored because nobody's paying any attention to that. It's not very attractive to others. So eventually, he'll just get bored of that and he'll do something else. But the more attention you give, the more he thinks, oh, everybody is looking at me. So he'll do more and more of that. You see? So, like that, when the mind is getting such, is telling you these things like, oh, this Vaishnava is this, that Vaishnava, ignore the mind like that mischievous child. You understand, I am not my mind, and my mind is not my guru, because this mind is still conditioned. The mind should be controlled by intelligence, and intelligence should be taken from the scripture, from sadhu, from guru. What are the guru? What is guru instructing? What are the sadhus instructing? Is my mind, whatever my mind is telling, is this matching with what guru is saying, what sadhus are saying, what scriptures are saying? No, it doesn't match. Then ignore. The mind will be talking, telling, ignore, don't pay attention, chant Hare Krishna, read some Bhagavad Gita. You understand? So, like this, if we don't do that, if we start acting on what the mind is saying, the conditioned mind is saying, it will grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we will become like this so called devotees, right? Externally, we are dressed like devotees, but in our heart, we are maintaining envy, jealousy towards Vaishnavas. So, Srila Prabhupada is saying here, Vaishnava means he should not have jealousy. He'll feel very happy. When another Vaishnava is receiving mercy of the Lord, he'll become very happy. See, a jealous person in the dress of a Vaishnava is not at all happy to see the success of another Vaishnava in receiving the Lord's mercy. They will try to stop that Vaishnava. In many ways, they'll try to stop. Don't give that person facility, right? And yeah, as that was already discussed, right? With Srila Prabhupada, so much opposition Srila Prabhupada had to face. Um, in the West, he had to face opposition, and in India, he had to face opposition. In India, he was facing opposition from other Brahmanas, even sadhus, right? So again, envy, envy. And from the West, from the parents of the students that he was initiating. "Oh, why you're giving us your, a foreign culture? We have our own religion. Why you're taking our sons away?" Like that. A lot of opposition Srila Prabhupada had to face. But anyway, here the point is mainly about Vaishnavas feeling jealous toward other Vaishnavas. So those who are feeling jealous, and what to speak of, who are trying to thwart the progress of others, and the service that others are doing to Krishna, you stop that. You don't want that person to do it because that person is getting all attention. Means there is jealousy, and a jealous person in the dress of a Vaishnava is not at all happy to see the success of another Vaishnava in receiving the Lord's mercy. Unfortunately, in this age of Kali, there are many mundane persons. Unfortunately, but it's a fact. In this age of Kali, there are many, actually, they are mundane persons. Their hearts are filled with jealousy, but in the dress of Vaishnavas. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has described them as disciples of Kali, right? He says, Kali Chela, Kali Chela. Ah, Naker Tilak, Golaye Mala, Eto Kalir Chela, something like that. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that such a pseudo Vaishnava, he indicates that there is another Vaishnava, a pseudo Vaishnava, with tilak on his nose and kanti beads around his neck. Such a pseudo Vaishnava associates with money and women and is jealous of successful Vaishnavas. So naturally, when that is why, when you do offenses to Vaishnavas, there are results, consequences. What is the consequence? Bhakti nishta chavaka vastuvantara abhiniveshaha. This is one of the consequences of offense to Vaishnava. Bhakti Nishta Chavaka Vastvantara Abhiniveshaha means you're doing nicely. Nishta Bhakti, right? Steady devotional service you're doing. All of a sudden, you get an attachment, strong craving, pulling towards sense gratification. You get attracted to women, you get attracted to wealth, to profit, adoration, distinction, material attachment. From where it is coming? Vaishnava Aparan. When you commit offenses to the holy name, then this is a consequence, one of the consequences. There are others. But then you become a pseudo Vaishnava. You still continue to put tilak and everything. You have japamala in your hand and you have kantimala, and for years and years you're doing. But because of harboring such offenses, you become a pseudo Vaishnava. Externally, you look like a Vaishnava, but your attachment is to money, to women. Although passing for a Vaishnava, his only business is earning money in the dress of a Vaishnava. Yes, they dress up as Vaishnavas, they even go to the temples, they ring the bells, but their whole idea of going to the temple is people will give donation, with this donation I will maintain my family. But you put tilak and kantimala and everything. So although passing for a Vaishnava, his only business is earning money in the dress of a Vaishnava. I put on tilak and go beg from door to door because people will respect Vaishnavas, they'll give donations to Vaishnavas. Such Vaishnavas are pseudo Vaishnavas. Such a pseudo Vaishnava associates with money and women and is jealous of successful Vaishnavas. Main thing is, the main quality is they're jealous of successful Vaishnavas. Although passing for a Vaishnava, his only business is earning money in the dress of a Vaishnava, Bhaktivinoda Thakur therefore says that such a pseudo Vaishnava is not a Vaishnava at all, but a disciple of Kali Yuga. He may look like a Vaishnava, but he is not at all a Vaishnava. He is simply a Kali Chela, a disciple of Kali. A disciple of Kali cannot become an Acharya by the decision of some high court. Mundane votes have no jurisdiction to elect a Vaishnava Acharya. So we have had this, right? After the disappearance of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, right? There was a thing about who's going to be the next Acharya. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was the Acharya. Now who will be the next Acharya? So Acharya cannot be decided. Who the next Acharya will be cannot be decided by High Court. You go to the court and say, I am the most eligible candidate to be the next Acharya, and all the benefits that come from that post, right? Someone who is a disciple of Kali cannot become an Acharya by the decision of a high court. Why is he a disciple of Kali? Because he's jealous. He's jealous of a successful Vaishnava who is receiving the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Such a jealous person is a pseudo Vaishnava, and a pseudo Vaishnava cannot become an Acharya simply by the judgment of the high court. Nor can one become an Acharya by the popular vote, right? You take a vote poll and majority of the people are saying, okay, you will become, and he becomes. No. The quality of the heart is important. One who is an Acharya, he should not maintain any type of jealousy towards other Vaishnavas. Mundane votes have no jurisdiction to elect a Vaishnava Acharya. A Vaishnava Acharya is self-effulgent and there is no need of any court judgment. Yes, he will become Acharya by his activities. By his activities, by his spiritual power, by his devotional power. He is empowered by the Supreme Lord. And that's how he becomes Acharya. It's not that first you are given the title and then you start acting based on the title. Did it happen like that with Srila Prabhupada? Did Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur give him, you are the next Acharya, you are Prabhupada, now you go and preach? Did that happen like that? That instruction was given to everyone. All the disciples were given the same instruction. Anyone could have taken it up. By their activities, by their surrender, by their devotional service, they earn the position of Acharya. They are self-effulgent. They will be recognized by the parampara, recognized by Krishna, and empowered. by their surrender to Krishna. So Vaishnava is self-effulgent. That's the point. It's not that somebody nominates him or elects him or appoints him as an acharya. Of course, the previous acharya, his spiritual master, recognizes. But even then, it's not like he's saying now. He can say if he sees that, right? So a disciple of Kali cannot become an acharya by decision of high court or by mundane votes. A Vaishnava acharya is self-effulgent and there is no need for any court judgment. A false acharya may try to override a Vaishnava by a high court decision. This also happened. Someone who is a Vaishnava, you try to override that person by showing a high court order. Here is the order. I am acharya, you're not acharya. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that he is nothing but a disciple of Kali Yuga. One who is going after post, after money, and after women is nothing but a Kali Chela, disciple of Kali. I will stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. Mataji, Mangalarti, Mataji. Sorry. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.